This week we're going to take a look at one of my favorite rhythm chops, and basically it's an adaptation of a keyboard part or a horn arrangement part, where you're playing over, like say we're doing an A, the bass line, even if it's just something simple like that, and you have these triads or three note chords moving against it, and we're still getting, here's an A7, that D there actually gives us kind of an A suspended sound. And so it's like there's an A7 sus4. We're not going to worry about all those names. But what happens is you see this is all related to the A chord, but one place just wants to be the resting point. But within that, we actually have all of this movement that we can do without changing to another chord sound, or just going, we're not going to sit on one chord like that, but we can go. There's a lot of stuff we can do with this. And then we're also going to look at the idea on the next string setup, which will also give us things like Killing Floor by Howlin' Wolf. And you hear also in Led Zeppelin 1 where I think they steal it for that somewhere too. Anyway, you'll recognize this stuff, and I think you get a lot of good use out of it. All right, so if we're in the key of A here, and the A is actually going to be the 5th fret on the 6th string root. So we're basically basing this out of this major bar chord here. The first one that we're going to take a look at, we're actually going to have our first finger barred on the 5th fret on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings, and then we like to hammer that on. Now you're going to see we can do this with the major chord too. It's just not quite as interesting sounding, but we'll start with the 7th chord. All right, so you got that A7. The D triad is actually just going to be our 3rd finger on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings, the same set of strings, but all barred across the 7th fret. And then the 3rd chord out of this movement is going to be, basically it's just like a G triad that's been inverted. We've got notes on the 9th fret, 4th string, 7th fret, 3rd string, and then 8th fret on the 2nd string. If we put the A string to ring and drone there, that I'll usually hammer on that note. You play without that. I like to hammer on though. It just sounds cool because that's the 3rd. So we approach the 3rd from below a lot of the time, even if we're playing blues notes. But in this rhythm part, it sounds cool this way. All right. If we were to do this on the first 3 strings, what we get is we have this A triad. First finger on the 5th fret on the 1st and 2nd strings, 3rd string being the 6th fret. So that's just part of this whole A bar chord. And then we'll bar the 7th fret again, and this actually gives us the 4, the 6 or 13, and the 2nd or 9th of the chord. And basically it's just a passing chord, just like this. That was we don't want to sit on that. That doesn't feel resolved. Right, same thing here. Basically, it's just getting us to the next inversion of the A7 chord. All right, and this A7 chord is just like when you play an open D7 here. All right, so I got 9th fret on the 3rd string, 8th fret on the 2nd, and 9th on the 1st string. You notice I'm using these 3 fingers. Yeah, if I play it like Killing Floor, you notice my first finger's just kind of sitting up here muting stuff. Works nicely like that. Right there, I'm actually using the A major triad here, which is just basically this chord, but we're putting the root here on the 4th string. So I'm going 7, 6, and 5 on those 3 strings, and the rest of it's just like what we did before. And to make it sound kind of like a keyboard part, I'm actually hybrid picking. I'm picking each finger on a string. So I'll use that sort of thing a bit too. So there you have it. It's a short lesson. To me, it's a really useful little bit. And it goes along kind of with the Hendrix stuff that we've been doing. These are all kind of typical or stereotypical chops or rhythm things that we do. trying to be a little bit more active with the chords.